Thank you very much, Jameson, for that insight on the interaction between sharks and remoras. Now let's get into the effects of this interaction. So getting into the direct effects for the remora will get food scraps from the sharks as the shark shakes their head back and forth when hunting. Debris and food scraps will come off of the prey, and remoras will be there to just swoop in and eat everything. Um, they're also able to eat the parasites on the shark, especially some of these younger individual remoras who tend to prey on copepods. As well as what they're known for the most is that fin, that sucker, um, which allows them to transport into areas, new different foraging patches. Getting into some of the direct effects from the shark, there's not a lot of research into this, but the removal of parasites from sharks is seen to have some sort of direct health benefit for sharks. We know that juvenile remoras will eat copepods and other parasitic individuals, as well as some of these older adults will also eat these parasites. And then also food scraps can get into the gills of sharks and even in the mouth, where some remoras will go. And so those remoras being there to eat those food scraps can help prevent infection. Getting into the indirect effects for remora, there is the enhanced protection from predators. If you obviously see like a big mean shark like the one in this slide here, looking very angry, you're not going to want to approach it if you're a predator of the remora, and just more protection for them overall. The remora also benefits from less energy expenditure over these long distances. They're able to use their suction-like attachments, which they're known for, and utilize the movement of the sharks to be able to travel distances they couldn't if they were just by themselves. Some indirect effects of a shark is they're actually negative here. We see an increased amount of drag on the sharks. This little study here shows that um, the highest probable locations on top here, with the back and belly being the most probable locations for remoras to be, and also the back and belly being the highest amount of drag in those areas where the remoras are. Um, so though they're insignificant amounts per remora, if you can see where I'm going here, if you have a ton of remoras, that drag is going to become significant, especially over long distances. That over time energy expenditure is going to get pretty large, um, as compared to a shark that would be by itself without any remorse. Getting into some of the population effects, there's no real significant benefit to the shark population, though we assume, though there isn't a lot of research, that it does improve the overall health of shark populations. Um, it's mostly a benefit towards the remoras because they get a large amount of population dispersal. They get to increase their genetic diversity by visiting different populations of remoras. Um, and they're also just increased mating opportunities as remoras are often seen together on sharks and are able to interact with each other more often than when a remora is just by itself, as well as just overall feeding opportunities for a population of remoras on a shark. Getting into some of the ecosystem effects, there's no like direct ecosystem effect of the shark remora interaction, but we know that sharks can often maintain a top-down control of the ecosystems they're in. And so the health of the shark population can contribute to a healthy ecosystem. And some scientists also believe that remoras, pooping can increase the amount of nutrients in the water, which can provide to healthy plankton populations. And then sharks can provide a living ecosystem basically for these remoras that live and depend on this shark as like almost an ecosystem in itself to be able to live. So getting into some of these societal effects, there's no direct resource that is provided by to provided to society by the relationship, but we know that the health of sharks is paramount in maintaining healthy ecosystems, which can boost fish populations, which we do like to consume. I also mentioned the illegal market for shark fin soup, more sharks, more shark fin soup in the market, though I don't condone it. And then tourism. Um, Many divers, such as myself, are attracted to megafauna. The general public is often attracted to megafauna such as sharks, and will spend a ton of money just to go on night dives to be able to see these guys. And then also education, Remoras and sharks. It's a very easy example to explain to a kid. Um, like just this sucker as an adaptation can be very easily explained to be able to show that the Remoras do depend on these sharks for survival. Thank you very much.